I am substituting for Brent Gove today. I'm gonna try to be Brent, which is a high standard for sure. Yeah, thank you guys all for being here. Really, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share. We're just going to give another minute, and then we'll go ahead and get started up. Brent asked me to, just share some of the stuff that is really working with agent attraction and how I built my organization. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys a couple of key points. So just wanted to say hello. Thank you for those of you who have your cameras on. Definitely makes a difference. Robin, good to see you. Jim, good to see you. Liz, over there eating, and it's good to see you as well. I got my coffee over here as well. And Emma, Lisa, Ashton, Marion, Nick, Dan, Matthew, Stevens, two Stevens. Oh, Steven, back to back. Rob, Alexander, good to see you. Thank you guys for having your cameras on. It definitely makes a difference, right? Definitely makes a difference. Christy, thank you for turning your camera on as well. Really excited to be here. I'm over here in the city of Riverside, actually. I'm in Riverside, California. I was in Anaheim for about 5 years, but just relocated out here because we're launching a brick and mortar location, which I'm helping a friend to kind of put together with EXP. So relocated temporarily here to Riverside. And then there's Mr. Brent Gove. What's up, Mr. Brent? Good to see you, man. I thought you were going to be hovering asleep.
I accidentally turned my camera on. I am just watching from outer space. Ignore me. Go back to him. I'll turn my camera on.
Awesome. All right, cool, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started up. I know that this is the top 1% conversation, right? So I want to just share some of the key things that have really helped me to grow my organization. We're just over 2,000 agents. And the really amazing thing that is happening right now is that I'm having a lot of people that have said no, right? I've been here for a little over 4 years. I'm having a lot of the people that have said no in the past that are now turning into yeses, right? Case in point, I had a brokerage of 55 agents that, has been saying no for about 4 years. And we're meeting tomorrow talking about, what they're going to be doing as far as the integration and, their goals. But what I would tell you is the first piece of advice, guys, don't give up on people. Don't give up on anybody, right? Reach out to them, be generous, right? Let them know what the EXP model is about. But the most important thing, you got to get to know them as a human being and really what is the most important thing for them, right? You really got to get into their world. And that's what I did with my friend Jesse. I built a relationship with him. We've gone to lunch and coffee many times, and we've gone even on hikes, which he had never done before. And he was like, kind of get him out of his comfort zone a little bit. But we really built a relationship. So what you really want to do, especially for these bigger brokerages or bigger teams, guys, you guys got to figure out how to build a strong relationship with them. And first of all, it has to be genuine, right? You can't build a relationship with somebody you don't want to be in business with. So my whole thing is that I'm finding people that I want to be in business with. Whenever I find somebody that's energetically aligned with who I am, I get excited. And also I am unattached as to when they're going to be coming over. Earlier today, I was having a conversation actually when I was doing my agent attraction calls. And I had a gal that I met on the Zoom, and she told me right away, she's like, "Hey, Leo, I really respect your time. I want to be really respectful of, what you're going to be sharing. But I just want to let you know right away, I don't want to make a move. I don't want to make a move. And I want to be respectful of your time." So, how many of you would probably be like, "Oh man, this call is not going to go anywhere." Right. And, that might run through your mind. Right. But as soon as she said that, I just literally said, "You know what? I just want to say thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I really respect you and your time. And I've been wanting to meet you for some time. So I really appreciate you being a yes. My intention is to bring you value. And what I want to do is give you so much value no matter where you're at. I don't care if you're at, you stay at your company. I don't care if you ever move your brokerage. I want to continue to deliver value to you. So I'm going to send you over some of my trainings. And I also want to make sure that I add value to you today. I scheduled 30 minutes of our time. So I want to ask you, what are the most important things for you and your business?" Right. So I started to ask questions, and her walls came down, right? Her walls came down, right? Because it wasn't there anymore. It wasn't about, hey, we're going to have a recruiting conversation. No, I'm going to have an added value conversation. And at the end of that call, she literally was trying to sell herself and saying, "Hey, you know what? I really want to join you. Actually, I really appreciate everything you shared." He's like, "Why don't you follow up with me next week? Let's have another conversation." Right. So it went from like, "Hey, I'm not thinking about doing anything whatsoever," from me just to pour value into this gal, to make a difference, unattached. And then she ended up, saying that she wants to have a second conversation. The second conversation, honestly, was a cherry on top. She could have just literally said, hey, it's okay, But one of the things, how many of you here have an email list? Like, do you guys have your prospects receiving an email from you? That is one of the most undervalued, I would say, things that you could do for agent attraction, right? Whenever you're having a conversation with an agent, you got to make sure that you deliver something via email. Because a lot of the times what I do find is a lot of people end up calling me because they say, Leo, I keep getting your emails all the time. Like, I get your stuff all the time. I get your trainings all the time. I'm ready to make a move, right? And every single coach that has coached anybody in the history of coaching real estate agents has always said, you got to stay top of mind. So having a very powerful email list is going to be a very effective way for you to stay top of mind. I use MailChimp, by the way. I was using KV Core before, but one of my coaches actually said, I need to know what your open rate is. If you don't know your open rate, I don't know how effective your email campaigns are. So as soon as I rolled over my contacts into my MailChimp, I started to see I was getting 35 to 45% open rate on my emails, right? So you want to make sure, and which is really great. I didn't even know that was great. He said, like, man, anything above 30% is like excellent. Right. So I'm getting 35 to 45% open rate on my emails, and I'm emailing my list daily, guys. I'm not even emailing my list once a week anymore. I used to, but I'm emailing my list daily with trainings. Right. So I'll share with you guys a little bit of what I have, as well as to what it takes to nurture the organization at this point. Right. I host a Monday call at 10 o'clock, and I do a weekly power up and a market update. I tell my agents, it's extremely important for us to know our numbers. So I keep them up to date with the numbers, right? I let them know how many actives, how many went into escrow, how many closed, how many days on the market. I bring in a lender, I bring in an escrow, I bring in a credit repair company. They give like a credit update, a mortgage update. And I also record all these things. So if you guys want to see any of these, just visit my YouTube channel, and you guys can see all my recordings from the past. I have it all in there. So if you guys want to take my structure and how I'm done it, rip off and deploy, take it and do exactly what I'm doing. This is really working. What I do get a bunch of agents tell me all the time is like, Leo, I just took a listing because of the information that you gave me. I just was able to open escrow, right? I get that kind of conversation all the time because it's really powerful when we know our numbers, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? Knowing your numbers is really important, right? Even knowing the fact that, what did we do? 397,000 transactions here at EXP last year, right? Which is amazing, right? I get that objection from time to time, and I got it today actually when I was on a call with somebody. They said, "Isn't that a company all about recruiting?" And I said, "Well, you know what? We definitely attract a lot of agents, but I will tell you, we did 397,000 transactions last year." And then I pivoted to a question, right? Because it's all in whatever objection is just like a smokescreen. They're going to say whatever they're going to say, right? So what you guys want to do as you're building your organization, right? And as you're wanting to break through, what you're really doing, guys, is that you are evolving as leaders, right? You really got to focus on your leadership. I still participate on a program. I know that Glenn Sanford, I think, has done PSI before, right? So some people in here probably have done PSI in the past. I've done a course called Landmark Education. That course for me changed my life. It really developed my leadership and what I'm able to do and my capacity, the most important thing. Because, when we're going from 100 to 200 to 300 to 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 agents, the most important thing in growing is us having a greater capacity, right? How much can we take? How much space can we create for it to allow people to grow, right? Because Brent has a massive goals. I mean, he wants to impact 100,000 real estate agents' lives, right? So he has to have these giant goals. That way, all of our goals fit into his goal, right? So the training, somebody just asked, the training is called Landmark Education. You guys can find it online.
Real quick, hold on. Yeah. Leo, I hate to interrupt. Do we tell them how big your group is? Because not everybody knows here. Did you tell them when you started? Did you mention
Yes, I did. Over 2,000. Yes, over 2,000
agents.
So I
just want you guys to know he knows what he's talking about. And you've got, what's your front line at?
I'm at 35 FLQAs. At
super
60.
Respectable.
Yeah, 60. And I had 39 like 2 days ago, and I was celebrating. I was like one away from going to 40, right? And then it adjusted and I got to 35 FLQAs, but
It
hey,
happens.
it's
All
okay.
right. Well, I won't butt back in, but I missed the very beginning. I'm sorry, but I want everyone to know he's the real deal. Take it away. But
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the
Yeah.
opportunity, Brent. And thank you guys all again for your listening. I really appreciate it. But yes, Landmark Education. Landmark Education has been a great course, and it's worldwide, by the way, and it's being hosted online. I just finished a year-long course with Landmark, actually, and it was a partnership exploration course, and it's all about the relationships and the people in your life. So I won't get into details about that, but I would say look into that program. It's made a big difference for me. I wouldn't be able to be the individual that I am as far as in my leadership capacity without being sourced in a lot of the training that I developed myself there. Also, another huge hack that I love Robin Sharma. I don't know if you guys have ever heard Robin Sharma before, but this book right here, The Everyday Hero Manifesto, hands down, out of 200 books that I've read, one of the most powerful leadership books I've ever read. So, you know, I would definitely recommend that book. And I also just picked up the book, The 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication, right? This is a brand new one with John Maxwell. So I would just say devour anything that John Maxwell has. And that book by Robin Sharma, The Everyday Hero Manifesto, hands down one of the most powerful books I've read. So one of the things that I was challenged by one of my coaches back in November, because he had let me know that there was a lot of changes coming and everything else. And at that point, I'll be honest with you guys, I was emailing again my list once a week. I was doing a weekly newsletter to everybody in the organization and outside of the organization. And I was doing one video on social media a week, right? And what in that coaching session, what he said is that I should be doing 2 videos, not one, but 2 videos. But get this, he said every single day, right? So I was shook. I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing 1 video a week. You telling me that I got to do 2 videos and I got to do it every day? He said, yeah, it's free promotion. He's like, you got to stay top of mind, right? This is the way that people are going to be able to see you. So one of the things that has happened since that day, right, when I started, because I took on the challenge. I was the only one out of like 15 people in my group that did it. But I took on the challenge, and I've been doing 2 videos every single day. And I'm not perfect. I'm not like, you know, I stutter. I say things. Hey, I get on my phone. That's all I do. I get in front of my camera. I record myself. And it's about, my videos are about either production or personal development, right? Production or personal development. We can all talk about personal development. If I read a great quote, or I mean, and feel free to follow me. My Instagram is I am Leo Robles. So feel free to follow me and also use it as an example. Take whatever you like. But the 2 videos a day, just so you guys know, just on one platform on Instagram, I am getting about 40 to 50,000 views on my videos just on Instagram. What happened after that, not only am I getting inbound communication from agents, and I'm attracting more agents, but I'm also inspiring my entire organization to do more videos. So that has been like the biggest thing that I've gotten as a benefit, right? The fact that, yes, I'm doing content for me, I'm holding myself accountable, I am growing. But the most exciting thing is that I see my people are excited. And this is, again, it goes back to leadership, right? We're leading from the front. If your people can't see you demonstrating what we expect them to do, they probably won't do it, right? The moment that I started to do it, man, it's been game changer. Everybody's on fire. Everybody's doing more videos. Everybody's doing more content, which also brings me to my next point, right? I know that we all have probably like this ideal agent that we want to attract to EXP, right? They're positive. They're probably influential on social. They're doing a ton of production, right? They're disciplined. They're positive, right? They have all these amazing qualities, right? And I challenge you guys, write down the qualities that you want for an agent, and then become that version of that person that you want to, you know, attract, right? It's really, really interesting how that works. I was coaching one of the gals on my team earlier today, and she was telling me, she was coaching her group on production and on following up and on building a pipeline. And then, here we are on agent attraction calls. And then she says, well, what do I do? What do I say on the follow-up? And I said, exactly what you want your agents to do with their buyers and sellers. Be great with them. Stay in touch with them. Stay top of mind with them, right? So the really cool thing is that we, a lot of us in here are focusing on agent attraction, but we also have production as a background. Do the same thing that we did as production. We're building a pipeline. Yes, we're harvesting, we're planting seeds. That's what we're doing, right? So you really have to play the game of like building this thing as big as possible, but also being unattached at the same time. And it's really weird to say that, but you got to build and be unattached at the same time. Because if you're attached to a result every single time, like let's just say you call a seller and the seller says, no, I don't want to sell. I want to sell in 6 months. Okay. What, are you going to forget about that seller? Probably not, right? If you're a great agent, you're going to follow up with them, stay in touch with them, stay in relationship with them, bring them a CMA to their house or something. Same thing. The agent, you can get them a cup of coffee, right? You can meet with them. You can add value to their business. And when they're ready, when their gate opens and they say, hey, I'm ready to go, you want them to just think of you. You want them to be an option. One thing that I also has exploded my conversion in closing agents. Do you guys want to know? It's just a simple question. Who wants to know that? Right? At the end of, okay, cool. So I want to know how many of you have ever done a call or had a great conversation with an agent and they're so excited and they're kind of giving you all the right signs, but then they don't move. And then you end up saying like, what happened? Dude, you were so excited. You said you did this and that. And like, they're so excited and they end up kind of ghosting you, right? Has that happened to anybody in here? Right? So I'm going to give you the key question. I'm going to give you the secret sauce at the end of this conversation, the key question that you should ask. So you could literally guarantee that that's not going to happen to you anymore. Who wants to do that? Yes. Yes. All right. All right. Like half of you want to. All right, cool. This is the secret sauce. All right. Awesome. Cool. This is what you guys got to do. Ask this question, and I'm just saying, hey, Matthew, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate, you spending the time with myself and, my friend, Rick. At this moment in time, do you either want to learn more or would you like next steps? Do you want to learn more or are you ready for next steps? Are you ready to learn more or are you ready for next steps? That's it. Guys, what's going to happen? If they are ready for next steps, boom, we send them over the application, right? Get them going. But if they want to learn more, what does that mean? I'm going to get them connected with someone else in my organization to do another third-party validation call. Are you ready to learn more or are you ready for next steps? Are you ready to learn more or are you ready for next steps? Get used to saying that, guys, and say it so natural that it's like, yeah, this is just a normal conversation, right? If you make it weird, right? Like, wait, are you ready for the application? Or like, don't be weird, right? If you're weird, they're going to be like, wait, something's weird. What's going on here? You got to say it like it's just something like that, just literally so natural. Hey, are you ready for, do you want to learn more? Or are you ready for next steps? Right? That's it. Every single time you will get a response, right? They will say, yeah, I want to learn more, or I'm ready for next steps. You would be surprised how many times I think that the prospect is not ready to move forward. And when I ask that question, they're like, yeah, I'm ready for next steps. I'm so surprised by the many times that I've asked that question and people say I'm ready for next steps. Because you're not saying, do you want to sign? Are you ready to, like, you're not being weird about it. You're just like, are you ready for next steps? So natural. So the other thing, after they say, yes, I'm ready for next steps, don't get weird, right? Still be comfortable in that conversation. I say, you know what? That sounds fantastic. Congratulations. Welcome to our company. We're so excited that you decided to partner with us. Next steps, just to set up the expectation. I'm going to be sending you an email. I'm going to CC you alongside my assistant, right? Because I have an assistant. Her name is Terry. And we're committed that you have an excellent experience with onboarding, right? You're going to be part of this new vehicle called DXP, but we're going to really teach you how to drive it, right? So first step is that you're going to get the application. Second step is that you're going to let us know that you've submitted the application. And then we're going to set up an orientation. That way we can go into details and go over the workplace, go the EXP world. We're going to get into all of that, right? We're going to teach you how to drive this amazing car because we're not interested in you just joining our company. We're committed that you become a raving fan of our company. Our company is so valuable that we want you to know the maximum benefits that you're going to get as an agent, right? So I say all this stuff to them. They're like excited, like, oh my God, I'm going to know how to drive this car. Great, right? But you're setting up the expectations. And guess what happens immediately when that call is over? They're getting that email. They're getting CC'd on the email. And I'm also sending a text message with an introduction to my assistant, Terry, as well. And they're saying, hey, welcome so-and-so to our organization. Here is Terry. She is available for any questions whatsoever. Please let us know as soon as you're completing the application, right? So those are the things, right? It's just something very natural. Again, what do we do excellent as listing agents and as buyer agents? We set expectations. We have to do the same thing, guys, with our agents that we attract to the company. We have to set the clear expectations so they're aware. When they see the email, when they see the text, when they get the application, all that stuff, they're gonna be like, oh my God, Leo told me all this stuff. So cool, right? So that's basically it, guys. That question right there is gonna get you guys to close so many more times. And it's, again, right? It's not that the agent might be ready, but you're just not asking, but you have to make it sound so natural, right? Also, I touched on social media, right? I said, hey guys, you guys should do social media. One of the things that I'm also doing, again, right? I'm just doing a 60-second video with my phone and I'm repurposing the video on YouTube Shorts. I'm putting the same video on TikTok. I'm doing the same video on Instagram Reels. I'm doing the same video on Facebook Reels. I'm doing the same video on LinkedIn. Some people may tell you, hey, you have to make individual content to each one. I don't have the time to do it. I'm going to do one video and I'm going to repurpose that same content across all platforms, right? Do that, right? And start with one, right? Start with one a week. I started with one a week and then I started amplifying my message. I also have these are the microphones that I use for my videos. It's a DJI. They're $365 DJI microphones. You guys can put that on Amazon or whatever. These make my voice sound really clean and crisp, right? It makes a big difference for me. And I also have a DJI little gimbal that I put my phone on and I just sit in front of it, right? And I just talk. That's it. There's an app that I also use. You know, a lot of people, by the way, don't actually listen to your videos. So you want to make sure you add captions. And there's a great app that you guys all should have on your phones. It's called Captions app. Literally, right? That's so easy. Oh yeah, what's the Captions app called? It's called Captions app. It's so simple. So download it, right? The Captions app, you're going to upload your video and it's going to automatically put the captions into your video. And within like 30 seconds, you'll have a video with captions on it that looks awesome. And just put that on Instagram and all the other platforms. Another app that if you want to get more technical and you want to edit the video a little bit more, you can use an app called CapCut. CapCut is another app that I use on my phone, CapCut, and that's been worked really well, right, for my video. So I just want to give you guys a couple of pointers on that. But I honestly, guys, I'm so excited about this season of the industry. There you go. Yep, that's it right there, man. Captions. Yep, that one right there. Matthew, got it. Right now, guys, we all got to get way louder. We got to get way louder right now, right? We got to lead from the front. Our people need us more than ever. I just had a icon agent that became icon last year and basically sent me a message and said, hey man, I'm not gonna close a deal until late June. Like this is gonna be my second month without a paycheck. It sucks. He's like, I'm kind of in a rut. Can you please give me some motivation? Right? Guys, he's not the only guy that's dealing with that stuff right now. Right? So when I get feedback like that and I hear one or two people, right, what do we need to do? We need to be masterful at encouraging individuals, right? Brent does an excellent job at this, right? This is why we show up to all his calls, because he's great energy, right? He's motivating us. So you really want to encourage all of your organization right now. Be an encourager. be uplifting to them. Make sure that you're leading from the front, and they have to see you, right? Right now, they got to see you more than ever, guys. So I challenge all of you guys, right? There's like, almost 60 of us in here. If we all got together and we all started doing a bunch of media and we started doing videos every single day, we would flood the media outlets with our videos, with uplifting messages. And not only will we attract more people, we'll inspire our people that we currently have, and it'll be a win-win-win all the way around, right? So the other thing, one of the things that I've been, one of my secret weapons, I guess, is the fact that I don't sell EXP, guys. Like, I don't try to present the model, right? I make it 100% the calls all about them. I get to learn about them, their goals, what they want. And then I let them know, hey, I have somebody excellent that you should meet that can make a big difference for you because they made a big difference for me, right? If you are the guy that people are bringing, guy or gal, right, that people are bringing to you, you got to make sure that you really, really honor that time. And whoever is across on that Zoom or in that meeting, you better make them feel like $1 million. Like, that's it. I get in conversation with some people, right, that are not the most positive, probably not the individual that I would like to be in business with, but I am still great with them, not for just necessarily them, because of my leader that is bringing me somebody forward. So I'm very conscientious of that, right? I make sure that if somebody is bringing me somebody in a third-party validation call, I'm going to make sure that I treat them world-class. I'm going to make sure that they feel better that when they entered that Zoom or that meeting with me. Again, the one thing that you're doing is that you are rewarding good behavior, right? If your agents are bringing you agents to talk to them and you make the conversation weird, they're not going to contact you anymore. They won't bring you people anymore for you to talk to them. So you got to be great with them. You got to be uplifting to them. You got to make sure that call goes phenomenal. That way they keep bringing you people, right? So that's one piece of advice I will tell you that has really worked in my favor. I've been extremely intentional about that. But my rule is this: if somebody is not submitting an application and they're telling me, hey, I'm going to get my application by 2:00. If that application is not in at 2:00, I'm not calling them and telling them, hey, your application is not in. I'm calling them and I'm saying this. I'm saying, hey, I just wanted to apologize. And they're like, wait, what do you mean? He's like, I forgot to introduce you to my friend, Rick. He's made such a big difference for me. And I forgot to introduce you to him. And I know he would make a big difference for your business, right? If they're not getting their application in, guys, you got to continue to move them forward in the conversation, because if you don't, they might also just kind of like, you will never know what happened, right? So I don't take that for granted. If somebody doesn't give me their application, I'm getting them on a call with someone else immediately, right? Make that a rule for yourself. Also, let me see what else I got here. Brent shared about Rick bringing 30 people to build. I'm going to match Rick, by the way. I'm going to bring 30 people to build, right? Like, what's going on? We got to get as many people as possible to these big events, because these big events are going to do all the heavy lifting for us. And that's ultimately how I've been able to convert the majority of the bigger brokerages, is by bringing them to these bigger events. So I'm committing myself to bringing 30 people to the build event as well, because that's been by far one of the most powerful things. I mean, I've had people that have, I'll tell you this story. We had a guy that was in the top 100 of Gary Keller. And we just invited him to this event that it was going to be super awesome. Tony Robbins was going to be there. And he thought he was going to a Tony Robbins event. And we just told him, like, yeah, our company's putting it together, by the way. He had no idea what he was stepping into, like zero. This guy's doing 200 transactions a quarter. He's so busy that he doesn't have the time to look up and look at anything else, right? He's that busy. 200 transactions a quarter, crazy amount of volume. But he went to build, where I saw Tony Robbins, was over the top wowed. He was introduced to so many different people, and I was able to introduce him to Glenn, right? Glenn spoke at one of those conferences, and he stepped off the stage. I messaged Glenn. I said, hey, is there any possibility you might have like 5 minutes for you to meet this superstar? It's on Gary's top 100. He's looking at our company. I made the introduction, And this gentleman was over the top, like excited because he was on Gary's top 100 and had never talked to Gary Keller, ever, never talked to him. The fact that I was able to get him in front of Glenn Sanford with just a message on Workplace, by the way, there's no special treat. I just messaged them on Workplace and I said, is there any possibility, please, that you could meet with my guy for 5 minutes? And he said, sure, I'll meet with them for 5 minutes, right? Glenn spent 30 minutes with him. That meant the world to him. He went back home, told his team, and not even a month later, moved over his entire team to our company. And now, yes, that was a huge win, guys. Huge win, right? And again, he had no desire to move, zero. Didn't know anything about the event other than the fact that Tony Robbins was there, but trust the event. Brent, James, Rob, these guys are doing an excellent job of putting together these extraordinary events. All we got to do is bring the human beings that we want to impact to these events. So that's the story that I just want to share. I think we're at the top of the hour already, so I think we're complete. But my intention was to bring value. Thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it. Brent, thank you for the opportunity. You're awake, man. You're like, hey, I'm going to be asleep. You're awake. Look at you, man. This guy, number one over here and still learning, still listening, man. Thank you for who you are. You are the reason why I do what I do every single day, man. Like, you're a great example for all of us. So let's give Brent a big round of applause, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I want to be traveling with you, man. Let's go.
Great job, Leo. People are texting me going, this dude has brought so much value. Like, can you just let Leo do it for now on? People, they didn't say that, but they said that you just are blowing their minds with value. Wave at Leo if you thought this is freaking solid. Let me see some waving, some moving. All right, we're gonna break. We start. Leo, thank you,
thank
Leo.
you, man.
Really
Appreciate
good.
you guys.
We're gonna start mastering sales with Brent Gove in 8 minutes. Except it's mastering sales with Coach Randy Bird because it's after midnight and I figured I'd be asleep, but I'm too pumped up. I'm too fired up about my future and your future. We'll see you in 7 minutes. Broker agnostic. Invite anybody. You can get a little copy of these things and give them to people that can see what great training we have at EXP. Bye for now. Love you guys.